Hi, my name is William Lewis, and today I'm going to talk to you about the Mongolian ecosystem and the different species that live there. To propose some context, this idea is following the question of how the terrestrial organisms in the Mongolian steppe ecosystem particularly interact with one another, which ones can be identified as keystone species, and how the rest contribute in their own roles. I've always been incredibly intrigued by Mongolia and its ecosystems, and therefore found this to be the perfect opportunity to gain a foothold and understand what goes on in the natural world of the country. To start, let's look at one keystone species from Mongolia, which may be common to those who are interested in big cats: the snow leopard. Snow leopards are found throughout Central Asia, from the Himalayas in the south to the Altais in the north. They are not the largest predator in Mongolia, with that title going to the Gobi bear, a subspecies of brown bear, but they are the most prevalent due to the Gobi's extremely low population. In recent years, they have lost much of their competition for food from other carnivore species, as species like foxes and wolves have seen their populations decrease. Speaking of wolves, the gray wolf, of the same variety seen in the US and many parts of the world, is also seen in Mongolia, albeit at historically low levels. It is also considered a keystone species in the country, dominating over grassland ecosystem prey, while the snow leopard reigns supreme in the mountains. Wolves and leopards, therefore, are not extremely competitive over prey, and each have their own distinct species in their ecosystems they vie for. In the mountains, the leopards hunt two mountainous ungulates very similar to those seen elsewhere in the world: the argali, a type of sheep, and the Siberian ibex. Both inhabit the Mongolian highlands and are relatively common, acting as easy prey for the snow leopards to pounce upon. For wolf packs, they regulate populations of Mongolian gazelle and goitered gazelle in Mongolian grasslands. There are other prey species in Mongolia as well that are not to be forgotten, as these too play important roles in the ecosystem. These include some familiar faces, such as the moose and Przewalski's horse, and some stranger-looking ones, like the saiga. These species are not all as common as the main prey species, however, as they have faced concerns that have significantly affected their populations. We've now talked about a number of species from Mongolia and seen that a great many of them have suffered from serious harms to their populations. So, what happened? Where is all of this suffering come from for a species both on the predator and prey side of nature's balance? Well, the answer is an obvious one, and one very close to home: the most widespread mammal in the world, and the one with the heaviest impact: humans. They are second to none in their impact on the environment and the species that live in it around the world, and Mongolia is no exception to that rule. Mongolia's impact on its species is centered on a few major issues which cause harm to animals, but one strikes far above the rest in its prevalence and impact: poaching. Poaching, or the illegal hunting of animals, occurs around the world at far heavier than sustainable rates for species, including in Mongolia. Here, this often comes in the form of large grazing species like gazelles being shot by nomadic shepherds for no other reason than to reduce competition with their own herds. In a world of desert and tundra, the grass that there is to go around becomes a precious resource to compete for, and wild animals are liabilities in the eyes of these ranchers. There is also some degree of illegal hunting for meat, and even simply for trophy or sport. These latter reasons also affect large predators, like our previously mentioned snow leopards and wolves, in addition to the usage of different body parts in traditional medicine. This is not to say, though, that there are no connections or positives in the environment between Mongolians and the species that occupy the country, as through domestication and similar partnerships there is a wide range of symbiosis. The most obvious example is the domestication of both horses and camels in different parts of the country, where it was likely one of the first places to do so. This exemplifies a clear connection between humans and animals, although it is coming back to now cause problems as remaining wild groups of Przewalski's horse and Bactrian camel are at risk of being wiped out by hybridizations with domestic populations. Where the real stars of human-animal connection come into play, however, are with Mongolia's unique and perfected falconry practice. This involves a now small group of Mongolian nomads who subsist through the training and usage of golden eagles, a large breed of raptor, to hunt prey like rabbits and foxes and return it to their hunters. The hunters and birds form a strong bond, one that will last for a very long time, until the birds are eventually released into the wild after about 10 years of service. This practice of partnership and companionship shows how strongly people can connect with nature, and although this will likely never be the same with all species to the same degree, it gives hope that respect for Mongolia's other animals may one day grow so that they too can survive in the area where so many are forced to compete, and success and life can be brought about for each of Mongolia's species.